The point is that my brother knew somebody that in middle school there was a shooting, and that same kid grew up years later, and now he's in university, and there was a shooting in that same university.
And we actually have books, a new invention that I don't even think our other school knows about. I think they only know what computers are.
Okay, let's calm down.
And it feels like a little crazy to think that someone would come with a gun.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Abel and welcome to my YouTube channel. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you to our newest member of my YouTube channel community, Michael or Michelle de la Osa. Thank you, man, for becoming a member. If you guys want to be members, if you guys want to support the channel, but you want to see what we're all about, because I don't keep any of the money, make sure you check this video, which explains pretty much everything. And in fact, I already posted a couple days ago the first video of me giving out money, giving out the money that I received from membership and donated it out, which you can see some snippets here. But if you guys want to see the whole video, again, become members and support the channel. So a couple months ago, I did a video with my daughters explaining the difference, not the difference, but if they like better the Spanish school system versus the US Spanish school system. And we talk about some of the things that happened when they arrived, how was the whole process. If you guys want to go check that out, it's right here. But in today's video, we're going to talk about something even better and something even more interesting. It will be, what are the differences between Spanish schools and US schools. Now, I'm going to talk about, I'm going to be talking as a parent, obviously, but I actually, went to middle school, went to high school in the US. And I'm going to bring my girls here later on, and they're going to tell you what their differences is. Now, mind you, I just picked them up from lunch from their school, and we're walking to the house, and I was telling them that I wanted to record a video if they're okay being in the video, and they said yeah. And I told them what the video was going to be about, so to start thinking of differences that they can say. I did not tell them what to say. They told me what the difference is, and they were like, can I say that? I was like, yeah, sure, you can say all that stuff. So I did not tell them what to say. This is their own mind, their own little opinions. You got a 7-year-old, almost 8, and now you got a 10-year-old. So it is what it is. But I'm gonna tell you my 4 biggest differences, and number 4 is by far the most important thing. You just have to wait, okay? So let's get started. Number 1 is they don't change the teachers every year as they do in the US. So basically, for example, my youngest right now, she's in 2nd grade. She has the same teacher she had in 1st grade. So the way they do it here, it is every 2-3 years, they recycle each student. So for example, in my girls' school, each grade, as far as elementary and middle school goes, each grade has about 3 teachers, right, per grade, and about 20 students per class, something like that. So only 3 teachers, right? So my youngest, she's now in 2nd grade. Last year she had the same teacher. Next year she would have a different teacher. But what it does is, for example, this year, especially my kid who didn't know that much Spanish, now she's pretty good, she's learning. She stays with the same teacher, and that teacher knows her tendencies. She knows how to help her. She have a bond. She didn't want to leave that teacher, so they have a good relationship. All the other class, all the other kids feel the same way towards their teacher. So it's not like in the US, like every year you get a new teacher and you gotta now get used to that teacher. Here it's kind of different. So what this means, really, if you're in 1st grade, by the time you get to 5th grade, you have had most likely all 3 teachers, but you know everybody in your grade, right? Not just because it's a small school. No, it's because the school that they go to is pretty big. It's just because the camaraderie that you have the 1 year, you're gonna have it the same year, the same exact class, and the next year, even though you get recycled, you might have some of the kids from your previous years, and then the next year is gonna be the same thing. So again, by the time you get to 5th grade, the end of elementary, and you start what it's called here middle school, which is LASO, you are familiar with every single student in that class. And this all brings me to my second point, is the parents all know each other pretty well. Imagine you got your kid is going to the same teacher for 2 years, and then they recycle to another teacher for another 2 years, and then another 2 years. Believe me, that recycling system works the same way with the parents, right? The parents all know each other from 1st grade to pretty much into the finish high school or bachillerato, where they call it here. So, I mean, that's a big difference, because in the US, it was not like that at all. Me speaking as a parent, you meaning myself, I will pick up my kids in the elementary school, and I would just show up get them in the car, and then just bounce, right? I'm sure there are some schools in the US that are like this, but I mean, I've never heard of them and I've never experienced that, so I won't speak on it. So since all the parents know each other, that means that they all get to hang out at the pickup spot, right? They all, like every time I go pick up the kids at 4:30 when they're done, there's a platform that you just go and pick up your kids. Every parent there, almost all of them, they just get to hang out for a few minutes, right? 10, maybe 15 minutes, depending. After 4:30, they're just talking, going about their day. Again, some of them become friends through the years of their kids being in the same classroom in that same environment. So me as an outsider, at first, I was just staying in the back, and I was just like, what can these kids, what can these parents possibly have to talk about every single day? But I get it now, right? Like I said, again, Spain is a very social country, so they're always talking, they're always chilling. They might go get a coffee after or whatever, but the kids are playing there, and the grown-ups are just talking, hanging out. It's not like in the US, you get to the school, you pick up the kids, you don't really talk to anybody. At least I didn't, and you just get in your car and go home, and then you continue with your day. Here, it's not like that. Guys, one thing I forgot to mention is how easy it is to talk with the teacher one-on-one pretty much every day if you want to. Because when the kids come out of the patio, you meet them, the teacher actually comes out with them. So she actually, in our case, is a female. She actually hangs around for a little bit, and parents can go and talk to them if they want to, or even sometimes the teacher themselves calls you over in case there's a problem, something happened in the classroom. Maybe one of the kids was crying or something happened, and she's able to tell you right there and then. You don't have to wait like in the States to go back home. You have to send in an email, wait for a response, make an appointment a week later. Here, it's kind of like more easiest, fastest. Again, it's all about that camaraderie between you, the teacher, and the parents, everybody together. It's not like that, which brings me to my third point. Now, there are parks here everywhere, right? Especially around schools. So, and this is great, man. This is one of my favorite things because let's say I pick up the kids at 4:30, I hang around for about 5-10 minutes, I talk to some parents if the situation comes that we talk to the parents. Say what's up, how you doing, and then someone will be like, hey, we're going to this park, let's go, you guys want to go? Yeah, let's go. So you go to a park, and it's not just the kids from your school. The park might be between a couple schools, which you can see here as I'm recording this. There's a park and there's a school, which is not the girls' school, but there's just another school behind that park. There's actually another school on the other side of this park, and then there's the girls' school, which you don't see it from here, but it's about a block away. So you got 3 schools just surrounding this big park, this big, pretty cool place that all kids get to hang out right after school. So it's not a robotic, like more of a, like you pick up the school, you go home, you pick up the kids, you go home. Here it's not like that, right? You get to chill, again, socialize. And for kids, that's great. I usually just come here, sit on a bench. If I know some of the parents from the school that the kids go to, I talk to them. If not, I just sit here, I'll be on my phone, and I'll just watch them play. And the kids, they have a great time. By the time they go home, it'll be 5:30. Maybe they're playing for 45 minutes to an hour. They're not only exhausted, but they're happy, right? It's not just like in the US where you pick up the kids and the kids are like, oh my gosh, I want to go home, I'm tired, I have homework to do. And, here, I don't know what it is, man. It's just another vibe, right? It's another feeling. The kids have fun, the kids play, whatever. I'm rambling, right? So number 4, and this is not so pleasant, but the biggest difference by far, in my opinion, is safety. I'm gonna tell you guys 2 quick stories real quick to just show you, to emphasize the points of safety. About 2 years ago, my oldest, we were buying some shoes. Actually, I think it was my youngest. We were buying some shoes at Target, and my youngest said, she's looking at shoes, and I see the shoes. I give it to her, like, hey, what do you like these shoes? And there's one of those, the light up shoes, and when you step, it lights. And my youngest goes, I don't think we should it's really hard for me to say because it's really insane. She goes, I don't think we should get those shoes. And I'm like, why? She's like, because, they do fire drills. They do shooting drills at schools. Because if there's a shooter that comes and we get to hide in the closet like they do in the drills and we have to be quiet, right? The shooter might see the shoes that have light from under the door and give them away. Think about that. She didn't want to get the shoes. At this point, my youngest, she's like 5 and a half. I mean, think about that. She's in pre-K or kindergarten. And she's telling me she doesn't want to get the shoes with the lights because the shooter might see the light from under the door. I mean, that broke my heart, really, and it broke my wife's heart. And then that's one story. The other story is my oldest said, we were talking about the drills and how they do drills at school, whatever, and she said, I'm scared because what happened if when we do when they do the drills, they get him on in the closet, they shut off the light, and you have to be quiet, right? Because if a potential shooter is coming to the school, they have to be quiet so not be found, right? And my kid was worried that some of the kids were always playing and they're always talking when they were supposed to be quiet. And if there's a real shooter outside, they might be detected. They might get found because some of the kids are not being quiet when they're supposed to during this drill. So when the real situation comes, they're talking like if it's a freaking like I don't know, like a field trip. The real situation is a shooter coming to kill a bunch of kids. If a real situation comes, they will get exposed. And she was afraid of that. If you're a parent, that breaks your heart. If you're not a parent, just trying to think of somebody you love, a kid in my situation, telling you that, and you will try your best. You will try your best with all your power to not put them in situations like that and to get them away from that environment. And that is really what we did. And it's really reason number one for my wife why we came to Spain in the first place. Your kid telling you that they can't buy shoes because of the lights, or some kid is talking during shooting drill and then they might get exposed, and it is what it is. Those are the quick stories. Is that a difference between Spanish schools and US schools? Yeah, not the stories itself, but the story should lead you to you thinking what the difference is. There's shootings one too many in the US when it comes to schools, and here is extremely rare, right? Let me tell you another story. I know I said I was going to be only one story, but this is pretty crazy. Real quick, my younger brother, he's 8 years younger than me. He has a friend that when that friend was in middle school, there was a shooting. This is South Florida. There was a shooting in that school. That same friend, years later, went to school in University of Tallahassee in Florida, northern Florida, and there was a shooting in that school as well with one of the teachers that he knew, that my brother's friend knew, got killed. The point is that my brother knew somebody that in middle school there was a shooting, and that same kid grew up years later, and now he's in university, and there was a shooting in that same university. And you might be thinking, what are the chances of that? But the fact that we have to have the conversation is just enough. It's enough for us to be a problem for ourselves. Right now it's about to be 2:00 in the afternoon. The girls have to go back to school at 3. So I'm gonna go get them because I send them all to their room, including my wife, so I can do this recording. And I'm gonna get them here, and they'll tell you what the differences are. Believe me, they did it all by themselves. So hold up. All right, guys, we're back. Take 7?
Take 6.
Jesus, take 6, 7.
Sorry,
So we're back. We couldn't finish the recording during lunch because they had to go back to school. They had to eat something, and then we just didn't have time. So basically, a quick intro. This is Belle, my youngest. And this is Ali, my oldest.
And this is Pinky.
And that's Pinky. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna tell them the main differences I said, my own list, right? The things that I can think of, and they're gonna give me theirs, and they're actually gonna see if they have an opinion, agree or disagree, or anything they want to add on my list, which is basically a quick run through. Was number one, you keep the same teacher for more than 1 year, right? You have a minimum of 2 years with the same teacher, same students, same parents, which brings me to number 2. You know the parents, and the parents know you from pretty much kindergarten all the way to you're done, pretty much, right? So since you keep recycling the same students, even though you get a new teacher, by the time you get to the 5th grade, everybody knows each other, which brings me to point number 3. Since everybody knows each other, as soon as we pick them up, it's not just pick them up and leave, right? There's a little hangout spot. The parents just chill for like 5-10 minutes, sometimes even longer, to just talk, again, because they know each other. And the last one is, since there's a lot of parks here in Zaragoza, in Spain, literally for the kids and stuff, a bunch of schools right after school, they go to the park like we did today. I picked you guys up and we went straight to the park for about an hour. We chill, we came home. So anything you want to add to my list or disagree or whatever?
Well, I really love the idea of having the chance to be with the same class, the same teacher for 2 years. That way I could actually make friendships, get to know a little better. Because in Boca, I only got to be with the same student, same teacher that I would only see like once because they could retire, you know.
Right.
And then, sorry, I
That's
forgot.
okay.
I forgot everything. I forgot my whole life.
That's
I
okay. That's
forgot
okay.
where I was.
That's okay. Belle, what about you?
So I have one little different thing. I didn't really care about the changing, like 1 year this class and then you change with a whole new class teacher. I didn't really care about that because I was only there for kindergarten.
Right, so you didn't experience
Plus,
it.
I knew my I knew all the kids from all those 3 classes. So when I went to a different class, I might have a different teacher, but I would know the kids in my class because they would be, even if they were from a different class, I know them because I would know
Got
them
it.
from there.
Got it. So back to what everybody wants to know, right? What do you think are like the biggest differences between the schools, elementary in the US and elementary here in Spain? Like what do you think?
Well, I think that mostly the school in Florida was safer, a little safer, because they had a lot of drills
Okay.
for literally crazy things. There
Like
was
what?
like they would have one in case someone comes to school with a gun.
Right.
We would all go into the bathroom, turn off the light, and be quiet. They had a tornado one where we would all get under the table.
Right.
They had a fire one where we will all get out to go to patio.
Okay.
They also
So you think that the school go ahead.
they
finish.
also have a bomb one, but I forgot what we would do. What would we do? She knows.
I think that the bomb was that we would all go to the nearest phone, call our parents, and then just go home and then do like something that we prepared for. But I can't remember. It was like 5 years ago. So
Okay. So you say that this is what I'm saying, right? So you say that the school in Florida was safer because they had all these drills in case something bad happens.
Yes, and even though it was crazy that something like that would happen, now it's
Because here there's no drills.
here's no. So now that could happen.
Okay. So before I let you finish, what do you think about that? Because you obviously have a different opinion on that, right? So what do you like? What do you think about that?
that I think the reason she thinks it's safer is obviously because of the drills, but the only reason that it has the drills is because it's not that safe. So that's why they have the drills. But here there's only fire drills because like things like that. Like,
Actually, I've never
let's
had
calm
a
down.
drill here. I've never had a drill here except for the drill that we would go watch a movie.
So you say that the drills makes the school safer, right? And here, since there's no drills, the school is not that safe compared to the U.S.
Well, the school here is very safe. It's
Yeah,
humongous.
right.
So if you're looking for something specific, it would be very hard to get them.
Right. But you say that obviously because there is drills doesn't really make it safe. It's because they have the drills because those things do happen. And here they don't have the drills because a person coming to the school with a gun is extremely rare.
Yeah, when you really think about it after you spend that time in Boca and then the time here, which has been a while already, that it kind of feels like a little crazy to think that someone would come with a gun. A little crazy that the school would be destroyed by a tornado. A little crazy that we would get a bomb in the school.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy indeed. Now, besides the drills, because I know you guys will talk about that for forever. Besides the drills, what else you think is different? Can you think of anything?
Well, what I liked is that the school is very outdoors. Like, you would have your class, right? And then you would just leave the door, like you would leave the classroom, and you could see a bunch of beautiful grass. And there would be little paths to get to the cafeteria.
Right.
And the cafeteria food was very good. They had those little milks in the carton, and they were very good.
But
Yeah, this is okay. So
little
this is it's
not that
crazy, right? I know you're not done. I'll give it back to you. I'm just gonna tell the people watching, especially if they went to school in the States, that we know, especially at this point, that schools in the States have the worst food, right? Especially public schools. I don't know about. Let me finish, baby. I don't know about private schools because I never went to private schools. But public schools is really, really unhealthy. When you're in class and you're in school, of course you think it's really good. You got cheese sticks and nuggets every day. But as a grown up, you know that the healthy wise is really not comparable. Okay, so Ali, so what do you think? Besides, I mean, if you want to talk more about the drills, you can. But besides the drills, what do you think the biggest differences are as the grown up that you are?
Well, I do agree that it is very outdoorsy, and the outdoors part, living in Florida, it could be a little dangerous because one time we just walked out of our door, and there's like grass and things like that. It's a very outdoorsy school. We walked out, and there was like 2 or 3 iguanas there, and they could like just run up to us. But the problem is that the kids there, since they live in Florida, they're so used to it that they're like running, screaming, being super dramatic, throwing sticks and rocks at it. And I'm like, well, just imagine if it comes running at you, bro.
I'd like to say something about them. Actually, me and Ali are so used to that because every time we would come out the door, we would go into the front yard, we would always see at least one iguana. And it would never chase us. Plus the home and the school are so close to each other. They're pretty close.
Okay, Ali. So besides, like I said, besides the drills, besides the outdoors, what about the actual classes itself? As far as, is it harder here? Is it easier here? Is it more challenging? Is it funner? Is it, I don't know, you as a fourth grader now, you're 10 years old. What do you think about that?
Well, actually, back then I thought it was like super hard.
Which one? Here?
The one in Boca, I thought it was super hard. Well, for the first year. But now that I'm here and I'm older and more experienced, I feel that it's definitely harder here. It's a little more education because they called extracurriculars what you would call regular classes like music, arts, PE. Those 3 classes, we would only have one of them every day.
In Boca.
Yeah, and the only classes that we would do every day was reading and math. And other than that, and here we have like, I don't know, like 9 classes a day. Sometimes it could repeat. And yeah, so I'm really saying that here it's maybe giving a little more better education and a little more learning experience. Yeah.
Okay, so what?
I would like to say I agree with Hallie that it does give more education here because in Boca, every time I would go to math, I would have my computer, have my headphones, and do the same thing every day. Same thing. Pretending that the teachers are thinking that we're learning stuff, just doing super easy baby stuff on the computer for math every day.
And here you don't do that.
And here we don't do that. Here we actually get equations for math. We get 8 a day. Then we get a problem. And we actually have books. A new invention that I don't even think our other school knows about. I think they only know what computers are.
Okay, let's calm down. So basically you're saying that it was a little more, here even though it's a little more challenging, it's better because you actually feel like you're learning something, right?
I actually am learning something. Thanks to this school, now I know how to say unicorn in Spanish.
Which is?
unicornio.
Right.
And grapes.
That sounded French.
So you guys have been here. So yeah, that's it. So right. So one more question. So you guys have been here for more than a year and a half, and how is the Spanish going? Right. Like you came here knowing little to no Spanish, through no fault of your own. Of course, it was my fault. And
Yeah, it was your mom's fault for
And
not
mom-
teaching it when we were born.
right. Right.
Actually, I don't want to point fingers, but
Right. So now, after a year and a half of living here, how is the Spanish learning going? And if you want, you can say a little something in Spanish or something to YouTube members who are always asking how your kids doing, how they're learning Spanish. If you want, if not, you can just just ignore it. What about you? How's your español going?
genial.
Genial.
He's going great.
Going good. Ya hablas con tus amigas en español. Bueno, obviamente.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be like speaking French with him. So
Right.
Bueno, yo tengo una amiga.
Sarcasm. I love it.
Bueno, yo tengo una amiga que habla inglés también.
Okay.
Y yo...
Tú hablas inglés con ella.
Sí, pero nosotros no jugamos mucho.
Okay. ¿Ella está en tu clase?
No.
Ah,
Está una de las 3 clases de segundo.
ya.
Yo estoy en segundo A.
Segundo A, vale. ¿Y tú, Ali, estás en qué?
cuarto C.
Cuarto C. Wow. Qué chula. All right, guys. So we're done. Thank you to my kids, my well-behaved kids, for staying here so long. I know they're, especially this one, she's just trying to move. She can't stay still for quite that long. And this one, she thinks she's funny. I don't know where she get that from. It wasn't a question. So again, thank you guys. Thank you for watching. If you guys want to see my first video with them and compare the differences, click in one of these corners right here. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.